Good afternoon and welcome to the Town of Riverhead Planning Board. Today is Thursday, September 21st, 2023. If we could stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we do not have any public hearings today, so we're going to move on to our discussion items. And first up, we have Heather Trojanowski with 321 Sandpiper Drive, Chapter 219 application.
Yep, if you want to come up. Good afternoon, everyone. For the record, Heather Trojanowski, planner for the Town of Riverhead, and
Jeff Patanjo on behalf of the applicant.
so this is a Chapter 219 coastal erosion hazard line permit application seeking approval to construct beach access stairways at 321 Sandpiper Drive in Riverhead. And the proposed improvements include 2 sets of stairs, approximately 120 feet each, down the face of the bluff with 14 platforms and a walkway at the top of the bluff to access the property. The proposed action is unlisted pursuant to SECRA, so coordinator review is optional and not recommended. Staff recommends the planning board issue a negative declaration as there are no foreseeable negative environmental impacts from the proposed improvements. Just a quick overview on the site location. The subject parcel is particularly identified as Suffolk County Tax Note Number 600-4-4-7. And it's a 2.393 acre parcel located at 321 Sandpiper Drive in Riverhead within the RA80 zoning use district, and it's identified as Lot 28 of the Sound Meadows meter subdivision. Site's on the north side of Sandpiper Drive cul-de-sac, and it's accessed via an existing driveway. All of the proposed improvements in the plans that were submitted are located on the lot. And the existing conditions include a 2-story single-family dwelling with an attached garage, a rear wood deck, and an in-ground pool that's currently under construction. There is no existing access to the beach directly from the subject parcel. However, there is a common beach access stairway 2 parcels to the east, and it's owned by the Sound Meadows Homeowners Association. I can understand why the applicant wants to have their own beach access from their subject parcel, because I went down the community beach access stairs and then I had to go back up them. And it's a long way. I mean, for these homeowners to have to walk down their existing driveway to the cul-de-sac and then up the trail and then down the beach access stairs that currently exist, it's quite a hike. So I mean, they went and got their DEC approval already. I do have that outlined in my staff report. So they received a New York State DEC Tidal Wetlands permit pursuant to Article 25. The permit is valid June 16th, 2023 to June 15th, 2028. The only comment that DEC, a condition of the approval was that the stairs have to be constructed a minimum of 3 feet above grade over the dune and bluff area. That was one of the conditions I have listed at the end of my staff report, along with a couple of, items that I wanted to see in the plans, including the material staging areas, erosion control measures during construction, site and project area access designated on the plans. Mr. Patanjo has provided us with revised plans, which I gave you copies of. They were submitted on the 19th, and they, they adhere to all of those conditions that I had at the end of my staff report, and those are also built into the resolution that I have on for today to classify SECRA, issue a neg deck, and also issue Chapter 219 approval for the beach stairs. I don't know if the board has any questions.
Does the project inhibit the public's ability to use the beaches below?
No, I mean, those beach access stairs were part of the filed subdivision map, so I believe it's for the entire community. This would just allow the homeowner to take access to the beach from their property specifically.
Okay. What are the materials, Jeff? What do you build in the steps and the platforms?
We're going to do CCA.
CCA. And DEC approves that?
DEC,
Yes.
that they did, yes.
So in the DEC permit, their conditions, so if you use the chromated copper arsenite pressure treated wood, it just has to be clean and free of any sort of surface deposits. So if there are surface deposits, they have to be washed off prior to being used during construction. But it is permitted under the DEC permit that was issued. One thing that I will note, in the future, if the homeowner or any of the homeowners decide to do any sort of improvements, since their lots front on the sound. There's no existing bulkheading or revetment. I would just suggest that that be explored in the future to
Yes.
prevent any erosion, especially since they're
Absolutely.
investing in beach access stairs.
Yeah, that's one of the future projects, I'm sure, coming up.
Yeah, how far down do you put the pilings into the,
These are definitely gonna be at least 4 to 5 feet,
yeah, okay,
at
'cause I
least,
know a lot of
especially
times
down
you go
at
after a storm and
bottom of the
they're
bluff.
midair, you know?
Bottom of the bluff, we recommend going deeper than that.
Yeah.
Just like Heather said, it gets erosion over there.
Yeah.
So potentially we could go down 6, 7 feet down at the bottom of the bluff.
Yeah.
And we're going 4x6, it's more sturdy member for the entire length.
Yeah, and that was approved by the DEC, so they're approved plans. One other thing, the topography of the property is unique. It's rather high on the eastern side, at the crest of the bluff. And then as you go down, it, you know, the elevations get smaller and they actually level out. That's why there are 2 different sets of beach
I
stairs.
was gonna ask that, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just because around, I think,
mid-bluff, I call
yeah,
it.
the 70 or 80 elevation, it evens out and you're able to actually just walk. I couldn't get up there, but I tried to take pictures as best I could from both the
So you-
toe of the
there's-
bluff and the
They
top.
can walk from the one stairwell to the other?
Yes, from the upper section down to the
Yeah.
lower, yeah. So we'll create a path right through the.
They're gonna need to rest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a lot of platforms on here as well
Yeah,
for
going
for
down
resting.
isn't
It's-
that bad, it's going back up.
This is a set of stairs.
Have you lost your
Big step.
stairs
Probably use it like
in
3 times.
previous storms? Have you lost those stairs at all?
There was never a set of stairs here at this property.
Yeah, the neighboring property owner to the west has stairs, and from what I could see from aerial imaging, they've been intact for quite a number of years. Even the community stairs, which were built, I think back in the early 2000s, have been there, in the same condition. And they were sturdy when I went down them.
The reason I asked is, you know, I live with the same, there's a gazillion stairs
Yeah.
going down to our beach. I'm between, the 2 golf courses on Sound
Okay.
Avenue and Marwood, okay, and we have a like topography.
Right.
There's 100 and some odd steps down. And I would just make a suggestion, only because of we've lost the stairs in nor'easters. And, I would look into some larger material than 4x6 stuff, you know?
If the board is open to the lower section with going with a 6x6 or an 8x8 for the lower, say the lower 3 sections of the bluff, we'd be happy to, if it could be
Yeah, I mean,
conditioned.
that's something,
have- we
the
have no
DEC
problem if
approved
it's bigger.
plans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we-
bigger is no problem.
Agreed.
And that's why I
Well,
asked if
it
you
might
lost
be,
it,
it's
because
approved by
we've
DEC
lost
as
it,
it
we've
is.
lost it in the last
Yeah.
15 years, we've lost it twice.
It-
Not
yeah.
all of it,
Right.
just on the lower part. And what we've done is we have, we've built cages, we filled with rocks and built our, it's worked quite well. Just, you know, just a little.
Good ideas. You know, what I've seen in stairs, I've been doing this for quite some time now, is it's not necessarily the size of the timber, it's the depth of the timber. Because
It's the
all the
depth,
erosion
the
around, it's
whole
the depth,
thing
of-
is the
that's it.
depth.
You could put in a post 4 foot in the ground and fill it with concrete, then the storm washes out the sand on it's
Doesn't matter.
useless. So we like to see them go deeper towards the bottom section.
What we would do, we have already decided if we lose it again, and it's probably only a matter of time, would be plastic telephone poles.
Could do that.
Do them once, you'll never
yeah.
do them again.
An option, but it's quite expensive, is
Of course.
helical piles.
Of course, but each
Do some
time
helical
we
piles,
lose
go
it-
in 20 feet and attach your post to that.
Yeah,
You're locked in for a long time.
yep.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
On the plans, I noticed that there was no handrails going down. Is there?
There's handrails, just not shown for clarity.
Just
Yeah,
not shown
Yeah, it
on
would-
they'll
there?
be
that would be
included
a
on
mess,
the,
yeah.
the construction plans for the building permit, 'cause they will need to get a building permit after they receive their 219 approval.
Right.
So all of those details, the attachments, you know, corrosion resistant hardware, all of that's going to be put into the building
Detail.
permit, and the inspectors will check to make sure it complies with New York State Building Code.
I assumed it did, but I didn't see it, so I just.
Yeah,
Oh, stainless steel fasteners?
probably galvanized, stainless steel gets pretty costly.
Yeah. And just to, George's point about, you know, possibly widening the stairs, the DEC did only approve, 4 foot wide and then 4x6 at the platform, so if he were to change the plans, he would probably have to go back.
They won't permit anything over 4 foot
Okay,
wide.
so-
The DEC's maximum on stairs, bluff stairs, is 4 foot wide with a maximum of 4x6 platform for a stopping area with a bench on it.
What we have.
That's their maximum.
All right. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, so if the board's amenable, I do have the resolution on for approval with conditions, but they've all been addressed by the revised plans that were provided.
Sounds good to me. That's it,
That's
thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
You're all set. Yeah, I'll
thank you.
email you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jeff.
Okay, let's move on to Kent Animal Shelter Site Plan with Heather again.
We have Marty Samlewski here. So just a quick overview. This is for the Kent Animal Shelter site plan. This is the final approval. I have it on for resolution today. They did receive their preliminary approval back on July 6th of 2023. That was resolution number 2023-052. Marty has already, and John Condon have already provided revised plans that addressed all of the conditions of preliminary approval. That included any fire marshal comments. An ARB did issue their approval with conditions. Some signage needed to be removed from the buildings. There was an arbor that an entry arbor going to the administrative building that they wanted to see revamped a little bit. And then they had wanted the reverse gable on the main building removed. So we're just here to discuss that. They received their Conservation Advisory Council approval. Again, they already have their DEC and Health Department approval, so this is really the final piece of the puzzle for them to get approval from the Planning Board and then move forward with their building permit applications.
Yeah, and our logic for the ARB, the main kennel would have a large reverse gable that they eventually would put their logo on. It was just a design element that they liked. We thought it sort of brought your eye to the back of the site where the buildings are. It draws you down, and you see the little arbor that leads into where the office is. They thought it was depicted an entrance too much, and they thought it was a little bit too much. We disagreed with them, so we said, well, we're gonna just leave it. I've talked to the client, and they said that they would be willing to remove it if that's a condition of the approval, or if they have the option to still keep it, that would be fine too. But, they're also looking to
Is that
save.
gable as you go down the driveway, kind of like straight on, or is it?
Yeah, it's the main building.
Yeah,
So
the kennel
over the kennel area, there was a big, end of the side of a gable roof. And, during the design process, the owner had mentioned, they said, gee, it would be nice to have like a gable and give it a little bit more flair.
Yeah, I agree.
And it was a nice feature that we had. It's actually more expensive. They're trying to save some money, so I talked to them today and they said, look, if the board wants, to just go by what the ARB said, we're fine with that. We'd like to keep it as an option maybe, but it's totally up to the board. We're fine with it either way. There's
Well, what do
bottom
the dogs want?
line.
I don't have a problem. I'd like to go with the recommendation.
Yeah, so I mean, are they okay with removing it? I
Yeah.
have one of the conditions of the
wanna
final
remove it?
approval was,
That's fine, that doesn't matter to me.
Hold
Well, I
on,
think-
we're not clear.
oh, okay.
Well, the way that I was interpreting it is that the ARB has,
They wanted it removed because they felt that it looked more like an entry to the kennel when it wasn't. But that's why they added the welcome arbor in order to direct people who are looking for adoptable animals to go to the administrative office first. So at this point, it's really just a design preference.
I think it makes it a lot classier, it kind of breaks up the building, but the applicant seems to be happy either way, so it's up to you guys.
Either way is fine with me.
Yeah, so it's really up to the board on whether or not, the elevations stay like this and we could move forward and get everything signed, or if they need to revise it and remove the gable.
so to revise it, you would have to go through other processes again?
No, all we'd have to do is literally
Revised
change the
plans.
drawing to take it off, because, that will comply with their conditions. So if we revise it to comply and drop it off of, the Mylar that way, that's fine.
I tend to like that return myself.
Yeah,
But I do, yeah, I mean, I think it was nice, but it does kind of, point you towards, however, if you're saying that you're going to have a sign that says that the other one, then I would be more inclined to say leave the return. I like it.
We liked it too, that's why we basically told them we
Right.
wanted to keep it, so.
I'm fine with you leaving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the board has one of the conditions of the final approval was, to address the conditions of ARB approval. I mean, they've addressed 2 out of 3, and ultimately it's the planning board's decision on the final elevation, so.
Well, it sounds like we're all in
Yeah,
agreement.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So the final elevation elevations will be left as is. Again, the other conditions of ARB approval were met. So that's it, and I have the resolution on for final approval today.
Okay.
Get them going.
Sorry, I
Thank you very
misunderstood that
much.
in the beginning a little bit. All right, next we have JPD Calverton site plan. Good afternoon.
Guys, you just introduce yourselves for the record, please.
Sure. Ben Plum, Bowler,
Sorry, spell your last name.
PLUMB, Bowler Engineering, 275 Port Hollow Road in Millville.
John Solomon, SOLIMAN, from JPD United, Farmingdale.
Matt Charles, planner, center of Brett. Okay, so to bring the board up to speed, this is an application for, to demolish an existing 5,616 square foot building. It's gonna retain about 140,000 square foot industrial building and to construct a just under 75,000 square foot industrial building. This is at 4195 Middle Country Road in Calverton, it's on 25. I think everyone is familiar, this is where Neptune Feed is. It's about a mile to the west of the Middle Country Road, Edwards Avenue intersection, a little bit to the east of the Fresh Pond intersection, and just for context of what's going on in the area, this is about 1,000 feet to the west of the HK Ventures site plan on the south side of the road. Surrounding uses include agricultural production, some residential and industrial uses. There's a solar facility to the east, and I believe it's active farmland to the west. If you look through the staff report, Ariel gives you a pretty good indication of the scale of the existing building that's there. Pretty big. And the second page, we have an an image of the building that's going to be demolished. Also a portion of the existing 139,000 square foot building. In terms of secret, this is type 1 action, so it's mandatory coordination as it involves more than 50 parking spaces. Identified the water district, Riverhead Sewer District, the Highway Department, New York State DOT, New York State DEC, SHPO, the Health Department, and the Planning Commission is involved agencies that we would coordinate with. So I do have a resolution on today to initiate lead agency coordination with those agencies. Pretty hefty site plan if the board had the opportunity to review it. In terms of compliance with Industrial C, this largely complies. As submitted, the industrial building is divided into 15 tenant units. Each end unit has 16 loading bays, so from what I understand, it's going to be 6 smaller industrial tenants, maybe some special trade contractors that would be end user here. The applicant can clarify. One thing that has changed, I know in my report it outlines that the building was shown at 35 feet, which is a non-conforming height. They have submitted revised elevations, which are in at 30 feet. This application actually doesn't need any variances. They're right with their coverages, with their FAR. Everything's right on what's permitted by code. In terms of parking,
You're taking down the Neptune Feed building?
Yes.
Are you losing them as a tenant?
No, we'll just move them over, slide them
Okay,
over.
yeah,
In some way.
pretty important business to town.
Yeah, that's fine. No, they'll be
Yeah,
adjusted.
just curious, thank you.
in terms of parking, meets all code requirements. They have 26 spaces would be required for the warehouse. They should have calculations for an auto mechanic, which would require 14 spaces. Their total required would be 39 spaces on site for this new building.
There is a auto mechanic going in there?
No, for the record, no one's assigned any space. We just allocated different uses to accommodate for parking.
Just to sort of
Okay.
justify. Right. Okay. So 61 spaces are included, where only 39 are required. Loading calculations also met, also 5 are required. Like I said, they have 12, 6 on each side. Just a note here, they didn't include a calculation for the office space that's in each unit. It's not really required. Office, that would be accessory to whatever use is there, but it's not a bad idea to show that you can meet the demand, at least for whatever employees are gonna be there, so I think it would be a good idea to include it. All spaces are 10 by 20, have the appropriate widths, And they also demonstrate compliance with the code that no parking is located within the front yard and not near the 20 feet of the side property lines or not within 10 feet of the rear property line. Meet the requirements for ADA. The big lift here is going to be traffic. We just want to make sure that in the context of what everything is going on this stretch of road, that, you know, there's not going to be a traffic impact from this project. As of now, they have 2 points of access. Part of the site plan, they're going to eliminate the eastern access, which is, it's RCA now, that's going to be eliminated. They're also going to do a bus turnout, so an improved bus stop, because the bus does stop right in front of this property. We did get a traffic study, and then I do have another resolution similar to what we did for Venetia Square or other projects that have a, you know, might have a significant traffic impact to retain a traffic consultant. So I do have a resolution on today to do that as well.
I looked at the landscaping page. Is that gonna be, you know, fluffed up a little bit?
Yeah.
Working on that, okay.
I have that in here as well. So if you look from the front of the property, you know, as many people might know, you can't really see it. The front of the property is pretty well screened. They are showing a landscape berm behind some of the existing screening.
Gonna leave the sign up? Gonna leave the sign?
Yeah, are you gonna leave the sign? We would I mean, my recommendation as a planner would be if you could maybe come in with a conforming sign, just because it's quite large and out of date. If everyone's not familiar, I want to say it's probably like 25 feet tall. Not in the best
Taller than the
condition.
trees.
Yeah, it's taller than the trees. So on the landscaping plan, they do show that berm in the front. Good species, there's just, most of the landscaping's all in the front of the property. There is a code requirement that you have evergreen screening on the side and rear, which the plan will need to be revised to show that. Outdoor lighting plan, mostly good, everything's at a conforming height. They do show existing lighting, they'll just need to demonstrate that that's at a conforming height also. We have this calendared for the ARB on the 25th of October. Engineering, this needs a SWIP due to the level of disturbance. You have some other recommendations as well. Fire marshal, we haven't gotten comments from, or from the fire district. I did have a conversation with the water district today. Pretty heavy demand on this site. The first 500 feet of the property are within the water district, but the rest of it is not. So as part of the process, there'll need to be a public hearing to extend the district, similar to what happened with the HK Ventures, and obviously a map and plan just due to the level of water usage on the property. So early days. Health Department, we did get comments that they did approve a finalized application back in 2014. So in speaking to the applicant, they are going to be doing a new IA system for the new building, and it's my understanding that the Health Department is going to allow them to retain the existing.
You're gonna use let the existing system
in the front.
be there, and then you're gonna build the IA just for the new building.
Correct.
And the old building will just stay with the, I hope the health department approves that.
But we're actually at the point now, they're just waiting for SECRA. They've seen everything and they're happy with it.
Planning Commission, it's been referred, we haven't gotten any comments back. Nothing from DOT yet either. Obviously, they'll have to review and approve. We got a no effect finding from SHPO, which means this is not going to have any impact on any historic or archaeological features in the area. That's really it for now. Just those two resolutions, so I coordinate SECRA and retain LK McLean as a traffic consultant.
I just want to make sure that something is going to be done about the sign.
For sure, yeah.
Coming down.
And/or legally, you know, or rightfully changed.
Change to a conforming sign.
Yeah.
Do you know what the kind of code is over there for the signs?
I would think they would be allowed to do a monument sign or a dual pole sign or something similar at a conforming height. I don't know what the height is in industrial, but I can easily find out. For you.
All right.
It's not off the top of my head.
Make it attractive too.
Yeah.
That won't be a problem.
Yeah.
I think it's
In
pretty easy.
whatever format.
It's really,
Could be like the, why are you closing off the eastern access point? Any reason?
DOT request.
DOT.
So we had gone in requesting to actually pave that driveway out because it's currently an unpaved driveway. We'd requested to pave it, and DOT basically shot us down and said go back to a single driveway.
Yeah.
It's highway conforming.
Anywhere on a state highway or even a county road that there's two driveways, either agency, DPW or DOT will make you go into one, just to make things a little simpler and safer.
Okay.
All right.
Got a lot of other things to do yet.
A lot of work ahead of us. Yes.
We'll probably see you again.
Yeah.
All right, very well, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Okay, do we have any public comments on the resolutions? All right, seeing that there is no one, let's move on to the resolutions.
I'll move resolution number 77, HK Ventures site plan, granting preliminary site plan. So moved.
Second.
Vote please, Bear.
Yes.
Nenaro.
Aye.
Hogan.
Aye.
Nacesky.
I just want to point out before we vote on this that this resolution says that the construction will not begin until the intersection of Edwards Avenue and 25 is completed. I'll vote yes.
Thank you, yes. Next resolution?
I'll move resolution 78, 120 Edwards Avenue, propane storage and distribution facility, so moved.
Second.
Vote please, Bear.
Yes.
Nenaro.
Aye.
Hogan.
Aye.
Nacesky.
Aye.
Woski, yes.
Move resolution number 79, which adopts the scope for the supplemental environmental impact statement for Breezy Hill.
Second the motion?
Vote please, Bear.
Yes.
Nenaro. Hogan.
Aye.
Nacesky.
Aye.
Woski, yes.
I make a motion to move resolution number 80, Kent Animal Shelter Site Plan, resolution granting final site plan approval for the site plan application seeking to approval of demolish and reconstruct two existing buildings.
Second.
Vote please, Bear.
Yes.
Nenaro.
Aye.
Hogan.
Aye.
Nacesky.
Aye.
Woski, yes.
I'll move resolution number 81, which is declares an unlisted action in SEQA and issues a negative deck for the coastal erosion of 327 Sandpiper Drive.
Second.
Vote please, Bear.
Yes.
Nenaro.
Aye.
Hogan.
Aye.
Nacesky.
Aye.
Woski, yes.
I'll move resolution 82 for JPD Calverton site plan to classify it as an action, type 1 action pursuant to SECRA and initiate lead agency coordination, so moved.
Second the motion?
Vote please, Bear.
Yes.
Nenaro.
Aye.
Hogan.
Aye.
Nacesky.
Aye.
Woski, yes.
I make a motion to move resolution number 83, JPD Calverton Site Plan, resolution to retain LK McLean Associates as traffic consultants pursuant to Town Code Section 31-305.
Second.
Discussion. That resolution to retain McLean, that's on the applicant's dime or the town's dime? The applicant's?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Seconded.
Vote please, Bear.
Yes.
Nenaro.
Aye.
Hogan.
Aye.
Nacesky.
Aye.
Woski, yes. All right, do we have any public comments on all matters? Nope.
Make a motion
The minutes.
to approve minutes September 7th.
Second.
Vote please, all in favor?
Aye.
Other business? Correspondences? All right, our next meeting date is Thursday, October 5th, 2023 at 6 PM. Thank you for attending today and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Motion to close the meeting?
Are you going to be in the new building?
Want to second it?
Want a second? Close the meeting?
Second.
All in favor to close the meeting? George?
Yeah.
Aye.